The night began like any other. The soft hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen was the only sound, a gentle background to the stillness that wrapped the house like a blanket. My hands were busy folding napkins, placing small gifts in carefully labeled bags, each tagged with the names of my grandchildren, little souvenirs, keychains that read, "Grandma loves you," tucked neatly inside zippered pouches. Then my phone buzzed. A message from my son. "You won't be joining us. Mom says it's simpler this way. We've got it all planned." I stared at the glowing screen, my heart hammering. 3 years I had dreamed of this family vacation. 3 years I had saved, scrimped, and planned every detail, down to the sunblock for tiny shoulders and the soft towels for sandy toes. Every dollar in the travel fund had come from my nights tutoring students online, skipping my favorite treats, selling old furniture. Every moment of quiet sacrifice had been for this trip. Yet here I was excluded. I tried to process it. My mind spun in disbelief. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe he didn't mean it that way. I reread the message. "You've done your part by paying. This is just simpler." Simplicity. As if erasing someone's presence could ever be simple. I didn't reply. I couldn't. The words were too cold, too precise. My chest ached not just for the lost trip, but for the quiet erasure of years of love, of devotion, of countless unseen sacrifices. The house felt emptier than ever. My husband had passed years ago, leaving me with memories and promises I had quietly nurtured, and now, even those plans, those memories, seemed to mock me. I sank into the chair at the kitchen table, the dim light of the under-cabinet bulbs casting long shadows across the counters I had scrubbed hours before. I looked down at the neatly packed duffel bag I had prepared for myself, 2 sunglasses, a photo of my late husband, a small lavender candle. I had imagined us there together, our family surrounding us, laughing on the sand, feeling the warmth of the Hawaiian sun. But none of that would happen. For the first time, I felt truly unseen, not ignored, not forgotten, but erased. I thought back to my life before this moment. Raising children wasn't easy. Every birthday celebrated, every scraped knee bandaged, every late-night homework session I had poured my soul into them. I remember teaching Nathan to ride his bike, clinging to the back of the seat, whispering encouragements until he finally pedaled down the street, triumphant. I had skipped lunches, worked extra tutoring hours, and put aside my own dreams so they could flourish. I had been the quiet architect of their lives, the invisible thread holding us together. Yet, in all that devotion, the cost to myself was almost invisible. My husband, James, had always marveled at my energy, my commitment. He'd joke, "You should take out a loan on your heart. It's so big it can hold everyone's dreams." We had been poor, just 24, and hopelessly in love, on our honeymoon in Hawaii. I remember him burning under the sun, wrapping a bedsheet around his shoulders like a cape, laughing so hard that the waves seemed to echo his joy. I had captured every moment in my heart, because life is fleeting. I had learned early, and happiness is a fragile thing. After James passed, I quietly vowed to keep the family close, to give my grandchildren the love and memories he and I had shared. Every skipped cup of tea, every late-night online tutoring session, every small sacrifice went into the Hawaii Travel Fund. 3 years, $21,763.84, saved with painstaking care, to create one final memory, a gift, a legacy, a bridge to the next generation. I had imagined the trip countless times, the beachfront villa, the luau, snorkeling with the kids, breakfast baskets each morning, and evenings lighting candles in James's memory, every detail carefully planned. Soft beds for the children, flat walkways for Tanya's mother's bad knee, personalized t-shirts with "Family is Forever 2023" printed on them. And yet, when I finally held the phone that night, reading the words that excluded me, all those years of quiet giving seemed invisible. It wasn't just about money or logistics. It was about being seen, being acknowledged, being a part of the story I had helped write. And for the first time, I realized that maybe my role in their lives was never about presence. It had been about payment. It started with small things, tiny omissions that stung far more than I expected. At first I brushed them off as oversight, the kind that happens in a busy household. But slowly, a pattern emerged. Birthday cards went unaddressed. Invitations to family dinners arrived late, or sometimes not at all. I would arrive at a gathering, smiling, carrying a tray of baked goods, only to find my chair at the table empty or worse, pushed to the side, as if I were a guest who had accidentally wandered in. It wasn't dramatic, not at first. There were no harsh words, no angry confrontations, just quiet erasure. The kind that seeps in unnoticed until it forms a wound you can't see but feel in every fiber of your being. I recall one evening vividly. I had spent hours preparing a homemade dinner, every dish seasoned just the way my grandchildren liked it. Nathan, my eldest, walked in, glanced at the food, and said, "Oh, Mom, we're ordering pizza tonight." He barely looked at me as he disappeared into the living room with his phone in hand. A small, polite laugh left my lips, but inside, a storm had begun to brew. That night, I lay awake in the guest room, staring at the ceiling, counting every small neglect, every moment I had given myself fully and been met with absence. Even family traditions, once sacred, began to fade. I would set up the decorations for holidays, wrapping garlands around the staircase, hanging lights that flickered softly, anticipating the warmth of shared laughter. Yet, when the time came, my efforts went unnoticed. The children laughed, yes, but they laughed at a joke on the screen, a moment far away from me. My presence, my effort, was no longer part of the joy. Conversations changed too. My advice, once sought and valued, was brushed aside. "We've got it handled," became a recurring refrain. Invitations to join weekend trips dwindled. Slowly, invisibility became my companion. At first, I tried to confront it gently. I mentioned, in passing, how it hurt to be excluded. I watched for any sign of remorse, any spark of recognition, but it never came. Each polite dismissal, each excuse, layered another brick in the invisible wall rising between us. I found myself retreating, quietly observing from the sidelines, heart aching with every laugh I wasn't part of, every story told without me, every hug given elsewhere. Yet, despite the pain, I began to notice a quiet strength growing within me, a whisper, almost inaudible at first. I deserved to be seen. I deserved to matter. These early signs of neglect weren't dramatic enough for the world to notice, but they were loud enough to echo inside me, amplifying the fear that maybe, just maybe, the love I had given was only conditional, only convenient, and not as unshakable as I had believed. And deep down, I sensed that this was only the beginning, that the real betrayal, the one that would shake me to my core, was still waiting just around the corner. The day it happened is etched in my memory, like a photograph burned into film. Every detail, every sound, every ache. I had been planning a family trip for 3 years. Every dollar saved, every small sacrifice endured, had been for this one moment, to see us together, laughing under the Hawaiian sun, recreating memories that once belonged to my late husband and me. 2 nights before departure, my phone buzzed. I had grown accustomed to the occasional message from Nathan, but nothing could have prepared me for the words on the screen. "You won't be joining us. My wife prefers to keep it just for her family. After all, you've already done your part by paying." I stared at the glowing text, frozen. The room around me, the familiar hum of the refrigerator, the dim kitchen lights suddenly seemed alien. I had placed the last set of travel-sized sunscreen bottles into carefully labeled, zippered bags for the grandchildren just moments ago. My hands still smelled faintly of aloe and tape. Every memory I had folded into this trip, every intention and effort, felt crushed in an instant. Another message followed, softening the blow with empty rationality. "Don't take it the wrong way, Mom. It's not personal. It's simpler this way." I didn't reply. I sat, letting the phone lie face down on the table, my heart pounding in rhythm with the clock ticking toward midnight. The betrayal wasn't just in the text, it was in the quiet reshuffling of the family I had nurtured, the subtle erasure of my presence. Memories flashed before me. The Mother's Day cards Nathan once wrote that made me cry. The pink tulips he brought every March, even after moving away. The picture he drew in 2nd grade declaring, "My mom saves the day." Apparently, that story no longer included me. I looked at the small duffel bag I had packed, 2 sundresses I hadn't worn in years, a photo of James to place on the dinner table, a small box of lavender-scented matches for the candle I had imagined lighting on the beach, all of it meaningless now. The betrayal cut deeper because it was quiet, methodical, intentional. Tanya, my daughter-in-law, had long been erasing me in subtle ways, correcting me in front of the children, hosting holidays at her mother's house without telling me, selecting family photos that excluded me. But I had clung to hope. I believed Nathan, the boy who once called me his best friend, would see me, would remember, would not allow this to happen. Yet here I was, facing the ultimate proof. My family had planned this entire trip without me. The villa booked, the flights arranged, excursions and meals organized, all without my presence. I, who had funded,